Every major scale contains 7 unique notes, but there's a lot of overlap between the notes of different major scales. In fact, every major scale will share between 2 and 6 notes with every other major scale. Let's look at some examples of that. On the top staff here, I've written out a C major scale. And C major has 7 unique notes: C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then we come back to the C at the end. Below C major, I've written out a G major scale. And in this G major scale, I'm using the G major key signature, which tells me that all of the Fs on this staff are going to be played as F sharps. So the 7 unique notes I have in the G major scale are G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, and G. You can probably see that G major and C major share a lot of notes in common. And let's see if we can pick out exactly what those notes are. So I want to start with the G that starts out the key of G major. We have a G in the key of G major, and we also have a G in the key of C major up here. We have an A in the key of G major, and we also have an A in the key of C major up here. We have a B in the key of G major. We also have a B in the key of C major. We have a C in the key of G major. We also have a C in the key of C. We have a D as our next note in G major, and we also have a D in the key of C major. We have an E in the key of G major, and we also have an E in the key of C. And then we have an F sharp in the key of G major, and that F sharp is the first note that we are not going to find in the key of C major. We have an F sharp in G major, but we have an F natural in the key of C. Nonetheless, these two keys, C and G major, share 6 notes in common: G, A, B, C, D, and E. The only note that's different is the F and the F sharp. When two keys share a large number of notes in common, we say that those two keys are close together. And what we mean by that is we don't really have to alter too much to get from one key to the other key. For instance, if I wanted my notes in C major to match the collection of notes in G major, all I would need to do is change that F to an F sharp. If I wanted to get my notes in G major to match the notes that I find in the key of C major, all I would need to do is change the F sharp to an F. So there's just that one note of difference between the key of C and the key of G. So we call those notes, or we call those keys close together. Let's look at a key that's a little bit more distant. In the third staff system, I've written an E flat major scale. And again, I've used the key signature that's telling me that B flat, E flat, and A flat will all be used on this staff. So I have in my E flat major scale E flat, F, G, A flat, B flat, C, and D, and then I come back to an E flat at the very top. How many notes do I have in E flat that are in common with the notes that I have in C? Well, let's see. Do I have an E flat in the key of C? No, I don't. Do I have an F in the key of C? Yes, I do. That note is in common. What about a G? Yes, I have a G in both keys. What about an A flat? No, I don't have an A flat in the key of C. What about a B flat? Nope, I don't have a B flat in the key of C. I have a B, but not a B flat. What about a C? Well, yes, I do have a C in the key of C. And then D, I do have a D in the key of C. And then we come back to the E flat in the top, and we already figured out we don't have an E flat. So there's a larger difference between the key of C and the key of E flat. There are 4 notes that are in common, F, G, C, and D, but there are 3 notes that are different, E flat, A flat, and B flat. So for that reason, we say that E flat is a little bit more distant, or a little bit further away than the key of C. Let's do one more. On the very bottom staff, I've written out an F sharp major scale. And again, I've used the key signature for F sharp, the 6 sharps of F sharp. So I have 7 notes, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp, E sharp, and F sharp. Okay, so let's find out how many notes do I have in common between the key of C and the key of F sharp. So, is there an F sharp in the key of C? No, there is not. Is there a G sharp in the key of C? No, there is not. Is there an A sharp in the key of C? No, there is not. Is there a B in the key of C? Well, yes, there is right here. Okay. Is there a C sharp in the key of C? Nope. Is there a D sharp in the key of C? No, there isn't. Is there an E sharp in the key of C? Well, not really, not technically, but for the purposes of figuring out the common notes between scales, we're going to assume enharmonic equivalence. That means, that's just a fancy way of saying that 2 notes that are spelled differently but actually are the same note on the keyboard, we're going to assume that those are the same. So for the purposes of this, we're going to assume that E sharp and F natural are equivalent, because when I play E sharp and F natural on the keyboard, I'm playing the same note. And if we think about the enharmonic equivalence, then yes, E sharp looks like F, and there is an F in the key of C. So through that lens, there is another common note. And then we come back to the F sharp at the top, and we figured out there's no F sharp in the key of C. So the key of F sharp major has 2 notes in common, the B and the E sharp, or the F, depending on how you're spelling it. But there are 5 notes that are different, the F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, C sharp, and D sharp. And this, by the way, works for any 2 keys you pick. We could do the same analysis, say, between G major and E flat. This isn't just comparing the key of C major to other keys. This is comparing any 2 of our major keys, of our sharp keys, of our flat keys. In fact, let's do that as a way to wrap this up. Let's compare G major and E flat major. Let's see how many common notes they have. Okay. E flat. Is there an E flat in the key of G? No, there is not. Is there an F in the key of G? No, there is not. Is there a G in the key of G? Well, yes, there is. Is there an A flat in the key of G? No, there is not. Is there a B flat in the key of G? No. Is there a C in the key of G? Yes, there is. Is there a D in the key of G? Yes, there is. And is there an E flat? No, we already figured out there is not. So between G major and E flat major, there are 3 notes that are in common, G, C, and D, but there are 4 notes that are different, the E flat, the F, the A flat, and the B flat.